Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Dean. I'm 37. I live in a little town called Falkland in British Columbia. And for those of you who don't know, Falkland is a town of about 600 people, and it's between Vernon and Kamloops in the BC interior. My wife and I moved out here in 2021. In December of 2021, we welcomed our first child, and he is an absolute blessing in our life. He's the best thing that's ever happened to us. The intent of this channel is for me to tell my story, document my recovery, and to hopefully provide some relief and assistance and maybe some help to anyone that's dealing with some similar problems or just problems in general. I'm not going to go too far back into my life right now, but about 3 weeks ago, on May 3rd, I attempted to take my own life. I've been suffering with depression and anxiety for as long as I can remember, from when I was a little boy. And about a year ago, in July of 2022, I started experiencing some intense thoughts of self-harm. I was dealing with some pretty intense stress. I'm a superintendent for a construction company. That's my full-time job. And then at the time, from December onwards, I had a second job as well, and I was selling lumber at a well-known lumber store in the area. This was due to necessity. We've worked out what it would cost for my wife to get childcare for our son, and it just wasn't in the cards for us. So I decided to take a second job and try to make ends meet that way. Through a combination of the depression and anxiety that I was feeling, and being burnt out with work and with life as well, I got kind of neck deep into addiction. I won't go into that too much right now, but needless to say, it put an extreme strain on my family and on our finances as well. So on May 3rd, I tried to take my own life. On May 4th, I had to go to Richmond for some training at one of our district offices there. And while I was at that training, I told my boss what I had done, and he started the process rolling with our HR and our Employee Family Assistance Program. I was apprehended by the RCMP in front of our building under the Mental Health Act and brought to the Richmond Hospital. When I was in the Richmond Hospital, I went into the emergency department. I was examined by a doctor. He asked me 3 questions. I answered them truthfully. He said, "Okay, you're certified. What that means is we can keep you up to 48 hours on involuntary mental health hold." I said, "Great, I'm just trying to get help." No sooner did that doctor leave, another doctor came by, introduced himself as a psychiatrist, and asked me the exact same questions. I answered the exact same way. That doctor said, "Well, now you're twice certified under the Mental Health Act, and we can keep you for 30 days. At that point, I didn't really care. I just wanted help. I wanted to get this monkey off my back and try to move forward and try to be healthy, and hope to God that my family was still going to be there for me." I spent 7 days at the emergency psychiatric unit at the Richmond Hospital. I had never been more scared in my life. It was terrifying. For those of you who've been to a psychiatric facility or an emergency psychiatric facility, it's really scary. You're in there with some people that have some serious problems. A lot of them are violent. A lot of them are drug related or addiction related. And it's super, super scary. But what I quickly realized when I was in there was these were normal people, and they're just hurting and they're uncomfortable in their skin, and they just want to be normal like everybody else. After the 7 days at Richmond, I was transferred to the Vernon Jubilee Hospital, which is my catchment or my home base hospital. So they threw me in a transfer ambulance and drove me up the 5 hours to Vernon Jubilee. I was checked into the emergency psychiatric unit at Vernon Jubilee. It made Richmond seem like Club Med. It was super scary. Same thing, lots of violent people, lots of people dealing with withdrawal. But I felt for them. I immediately felt for them. I was never shying away from people. I felt an immediate kind of connection with these people, and I wanted to help. But I know that I had to help myself first. So I spent 6 days at the Vernon Jubilee. The staff was incredible. I took part in group therapy, meditation, mindfulness, and basically just tried to relax and stop my brain from going a million miles an hour in the wrong direction. They were able to modify my medication, so it's 100% more effective now. I have a stable mood, but I am still dealing with a lot of anxiety related to, I think, my job. My family's been fantastic. My wife, my son, and my wife's parents, and my parents, all of them have been fantastic, and it's reassured me that, you know, life is awesome. When I got out of the hospital, it was like being reborn. For anyone that's been near death, you probably experienced the exact same thing. It's a completely new outlook on life, and it's a completely new perspective on the mental health issues and the mental health crisis that's happening in our area. So, that being said, the intent of this vlog is to document my recovery and provide support to anyone that needs it. Things that I like to do, I really enjoy being outside. I really enjoy being outside with my family. We live in, honestly, the most beautiful part of the world. We have, gorgeous lakes everywhere around us. I'm lucky enough to have an ATV and a quad, and I absolutely love riding my ATV. It's my release. It's my meditation going 40 kilometers an hour through the bush. It makes me feel good. I focus only on the machine, only on operating the machine, and making sure that I'm safely getting from my origin to my destination. I also really like swimming in lakes, so my family, we're going to be doing that a lot this summer. So I want to try and document the things that are helping me through my process, but I also want to document the struggles that I'm having. In this first episode, I guess, I'll show you the experience I was going through when I had to go get my tools. So when I left my project, I literally just up and left. As a superintendent, I left my tools there, left my hard hat, left everything, all my PPE, and it came time that I had to go get that stuff. So this week I went and got that stuff, and the emotions that flooded over me were unlike anything I expected. It caused me to go into a panic attack. It's something I've never experienced before either. And all the stress that was associated with my job and the project just came flooding back, and it caused me to have a really hard time. So we'll share that in the upcoming episode. As well, I'll sprinkle in some fun stuff too. I went for some really fun quad rides over the last couple days. went on a beautiful walk with my family, and we've been doing that every single day. So yeah, it's the outline's going to look kind of like this. So I'll talk for a little bit at the start, and then go through the fun stuff or go through the hard stuff, and then we'll conclude and move on. So thanks for tuning in, and see you next time.